Yeah, I don't
Hi,
think
stream! I think it called my blasphemer comment, and that's where it started.
That's fine.
It's funny because I was just about to say, yeah, I don't think Jesus Christ had too much to do with any of this.
Look, just because Rufus isn't in this game.
Yeah. As I look at my flaws, I'm happy he's not.
Why are you happy that he's not in this game?
It'd be a bad day.
Would it? Why?
Yes, one of us would, particularly one of us would have a very bad day.
Okay, I'm just so curious about your flaws now.
It's fine. We'll cover it when we get there.
Sure. My flaws are fun. My flaws aren't coterie wide affecting.
I'm sure none of mine will be either.
I'm sure none of mine will call for a blood hunt.
Are you a leech? Sure.
As long as it's not a leech, it's fine.
Is Chance a leech?
No.
I wasn't sure if he changed it.
No, he does, however, have 6 humanity.
I've got 7, weirdly enough. I've never had a character with this high of humanity. Well, no, that's not true. Haley had 8. Or 7 or 8.
Haley had a surprising bit of humanity.
Well, she was a bagger. What do you expect? And she was only like 5 years old as a kindred.
Yes, but who she was attached to made up
Yeah.
every bit of that.
Yeah. -10 humanity.
No, just 1. Then on a path of I want to screw everybody over.
Yeah. So confirmed Gregor is actually on a path?
Yeah.
That's 3 confirmed paths.
Yes, but I think everybody foresaw.
Power and whatever.
Probably, I'd have to look at him again.
That actually is oddly fitting to him because they don't often kill. They let the others grow into better challenges for themselves.
I know, it's like I have a Sabbat game that I'm in, that's what their path is.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, fun fact. For those of you, if you're watching this and playing that game, that's the one he's on.
All right, Buttons, everything's on you. When you want to take another couple of minutes still?
No, I should be good if you guys are.
All right, let's roll our intro. Because I didn't just fix this 20 minutes ago, realizing that I still had the old one up.
And while the intro is going,
But said, hey, we're back. I clicked on the wrong thing for a second, but we're good. We're good. I don't know what I clicked on. I changed it too soon.
Rip.
how dare you?
Kraken.
Took something
Yes.
that only had 3 frames on it.
All
It's
right.
fine.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Sunday.
Sunday fun day.
And welcome to episode 1 of Midnight on the Circle. So, just for a little bit of a refresher, I'm going to go through a couple quick disclaimers. First of all, this is the world of darkness. Disturbing things can and will come up. If you need to step away to take care of yourself, please do so. We do recaps. You can catch those at any point. In that vein, as I said during the episode zeros a while back, I have discussed lines and veils with all of my players, and they know mine as well. It is very important that you do that in settings like this and in any TTRPG game. Please make sure you do that. And lastly, because this is World of Darkness, it is a parallel to our world. I may make references to some real life people, places, or events. However, any properties or peoples that are directly tied to the game, their names will be changed to protect identities and stay within Creative Commons and all that fun legal stuff. So, with that said, I'm going to have my lovely players introduce themselves, starting with, and their PCs, starting with Nen.
Hello, I'm Nen. I'll be playing Ted the La Sombra.
And Faye.
I am Feyla. I am playing Layla, the true Bruja, or eventual true Bruja, however we're playing that off.
And last but certainly not least, Dengle.
Dengle. And of course, I'm playing the best out of all of them, Chance the Ventru, and we'll meet him very soon.
I beg to differ.
And once again, I am Buttons, your storyteller for Midnight on the Circle, the Indianapolis Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. So, quick recap. We had a session 0, couple session zeros. We'd like to do a quick overrun of all the shenanigans we got into at that point.
Rufus took William. Tori took Beth, which then got lost in the sauce. In Indianapolis, there was a feeding, very violent feeding, as it were. Slight arson. We visited a club between those 2 points. And then we got out of Dodge. Not quite Dodge, it's Indy, but close enough.
Yeah, quite a lot happened.
Absolutely nothing that will infect this game whatsoever.
Oh, absolutely not. It's not like that's what we're opening with or anything. So with that said, let's get into it. New night, new coterie, new vampires. New hunger rolls, please.
New city. I failed.
As did I, actually.
So did Ted.
All right, that means everyone is at 2 hunger, yes?
Yes.
Fun, fun, fun. Okay. So, the night of the 18th, everyone wakes up. Let's go ahead and start with Chance. Go ahead, describe yourself, what you're doing, what your routine is. Give us a little introduction.
So, Chance is a bit taller than average. He's just over 6 foot. He's very dark hair. It's brown, but in the night, it definitely looks black. It's just very dark brown. He also has brown eyes. Very clean shaven, very well put together. Anytime you see him, he's got clothes that seem to be tailored to him. probably because they are actually tailored to him. He definitely gives off the air of, I think I'm better than you. And that's just who he is. We will fully meet him in a little bit. But he begins his evening with, even though he doesn't have to shave, he just goes ahead and shaves anyway. As he gets his stuff together. Wearing just a normal t-shirt and a decently nice pair of pants.
Okay. Is Chance comfortable sitting at 2 hunger, or is he going to try and do something about that?
Well, at some point during his morning routine, as he likes to put it, he will step out into his business establishment, which is definitely an entertainment style establishment. Specifics to be determined, because I'm still trying to figure out some behind the scenes stuff on that, but goes to one of his trustees, as it were, kind of mutters something into his ear to the effect of, I'm going to need to have a bite to eat later. Make sure that happens. And goes back to doing what he was doing.
They'll nod. And as you walk away, they call it, oh, by the way, someone left a letter on your desk.
All right, we'll take a look. I assume center drawer.
Yeah, as always.
Make sure everything stays quiet in here, please.
Yes, sir.
They will go to their personal office.
What does his office look like? Just out of curiosity. Is he a neat freak? Does he like collecting things?
Oh, he is 100% a neat freak. Everything has its place. Everything has its exact position. His desk has 2 things on it: a pen holder and a pad of paper. That is it. You open the drawers and it is file separators every waist to Sunday. The center drawer, it's actually carved out with like inserts where everything goes. There is a spot specifically for envelopes and letters. Then he takes it out and opens it up.
Okay. And we will pause right there and jump over to Layla.
So Layla is also fairly tall. She is kind of like olive colored skin, very dark hair, very thick. It's actually shaved on the sides and pulled back into a well, basically a ponytail because it's the long strip. Green eyes, and then she is dressed fairly formally. They're not tailored clothes, but they're still very nice looking and very, very I'm blanking on the word there. Posh. Oh. And then she begins her evening. She'll wake from her room. Did we forget if we said it was upstairs or downstairs? But anyway, she exits into her library, where there's probably people milling about. And then one of the people that she has had around for a while, a little bit there, she asks them into her office and then feeds on them.
Okay.
And then compels them to forget.
So you call in one of the regulars, book stalker you've worked with on several occasions, is used to you. She makes her way into your office, and after everything is done, she kind of looks around and blinks a little bit. Why was I in here?
Well, we were going over what you were looking for.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. Oh, by the way, Casey asked me to tell you a gentleman left a letter for you on the front desk.
Ah, thank you. I will go look at it. And then once the person, after some discussions back and forth, she'll go collect her letter.
Okay. And we will pause you there to jump over to Ted.
So, Ted is about 5'7". He's got shaggy, unevenly cut hair. Kind of looks like he has done it himself over the years. Very ice blue colored eyes, bit of a stubble, and kind of slender build. Despite all that, still looks kind of good in a weird way. Almost like he has, you could describe him as beautiful. He's been in Indy for about 6 months now. He's still trying to get a feel for the place and is mostly gonna wander around and try to get the ideas of general locations.
Okay. Is there anything in particular he's looking for, or is he just meandering around?
Mainly a house that would be easy to find someone to feed off of later.
Okay. Let's see. Now remind me, does he have any restrictions or particular interests in what he's looking for to eat off of?
Nope, I'll just take whatever's available and sleeping.
Okay. So, first roll of the evening, go ahead and give me wits and streetwise.
One.
Okay. So it takes you a little while, but eventually you do kind of come across this house that it doesn't seem to have very good security. The doors look broken. You can hear people milling about inside. Not too many. Could be an easy in, easy out. The whole neighborhood seems to be in a similar state.
I will make mental note.
Are you pursuing anything in particular any further while you're here?
Nope, I'll come back later when everyone's asleep.
Okay. So, as you are heading out of the subdivision, you go ahead and roll me what's in awareness real quick. Okay. So, you don't you almost do a double take because at first it doesn't really register what you're seeing, but after a moment you realize that there is a rather tall man, even by your standards, a rather tall man in a large dark coat following you quite closely, and he's making absolutely no attempt to be hidden.
Walk around the block, see if he keeps following.
Okay. And so just go ahead and give me just a straight stamina roll. See how far you go.
Nothing.
Okay. So you make it about a block or two before he just drops the whole charade and starts calling after you. Mr. Little? Excuse me, Mr. Little?
Yeah.
Oh, good. You're surprisingly hard to track down. I've actually been looking for you for a while. I was asked to give you this. And he hands you a letter.
Ted will take it. Take a look at it.
Okay. And so, circling all three of you around now, you all three of you have very similar letters. There's nothing stamped on the front, and there's nothing stamped on the back. But when you open them, there is a handwritten letter. It simply says, Willow Branch Hotel, 10 p.m. Do not keep me waiting. Hargraves. What is Chance's reaction?
And Chance very simply takes it, notes it down, then takes the actual letter itself and puts it in the shredder that is right next to his desk. He then calls for an animal, and coming from a compartment that's been built into the wall is a hairless cat that comes and perches on the back of his chair. And he gives it a little bit of a scratch. Well, I'm going to be able to stay home tonight. See you later. And he'll go out to one of his many vehicles. But tonight it feels like it's going to be his truck, which is the most Texan thing you've ever seen. And he will start that up and head over there and make sure that he's there at least a half an hour early.
Okay. Layla, what do you do with the letter?
Well, Layla would probably wrap things up, finish checking in, and then begin to make her way off. She has not gotten any additional summons, correct? Just the one?
Nope, just the one.
Then yes, she makes her way, timing it to be 10 to 15 minutes prior to the set time.
Okay. And Ted, how do you respond?
Read the letter, shrug, and aim to be fashionably late.
And how is Ted planning on getting to the hotel?
Walk.
So you will indeed be fashionably late. All right. Let's see. For those of you that are driving, let's see. No. I'm not going to make you roll for that one. So you go ahead and drive up to the hotel. Is anyone making any pit stops along the way, or are you going straight there?
Straight there.
Yep, straight there.
Okay. I imagine, since Layla's finishing things up, Chance would probably be the one to get there first, I imagine.
Probably.
And being in the city for a little bit, you would know that everyone would know that the Willow Branch Hotel is technically the center of Elysium. It hosts the rack, which you are welcome to use as you have been told. And tonight it is pretty sparse. Not a lot of cars in the parking lot, not a lot of people out on the streets.
Okay. This is going to sound 100% like it's supposed to, but do they have valet? Because he would absolutely pay for it.
Yes, they do have valet.
Yeah, he would go ahead and have somebody else park his truck. And he would probably just bypass everything and go straight up to wherever he's supposed to be waiting.
Upon seeing Chance, the security will direct you downstairs to the bar that houses the rack.
He will go down there, but he definitely tries to keep himself from any of the people partaking. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Now I imagine Layla would show up not terribly far after.
Yeah, she was timing it to where she arrives about 15 minutes prior to the engagement.
Okay.
So she would...
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say she would just pull in, probably park it herself, and then walk in.
Okay. And very similarly to Chance, you're greeted by name by the security and ushered downstairs to the bar.
Just kind of looks it over with an air of just not caring, and then would she see Chance?
Probably.
She would...
It's not like he's trying to A, hide, and B, wouldn't. He'd be uncomfortable enough because bar. Yeah.
Does he stick out clothing-wise? Storyteller?
They're nice.
He would a little bit.
Just gauging how high class this is.
It's you could tell it would be a very classy establishment were it not almost 10 o'clock in the middle of the week.
That's fair. But seeing him standing out dressed very nicely, she would likely make her way over near him. Not engage, but just be around.
Then, let's see here. Ted is making it a point to be late. How late is Ted making it a point to be?
It's like 5 minutes.
It's like 5 minutes? Okay. So, for Layla and Chance, you guys have another 10, 15 minutes standing around. Are you guys engaging at all, or any talks to be had while you're waiting?
Layla will just kind of be standing there with her arms crossed behind her back.
At a certain point, Chance like, y'all got a letter too?
Yes, I assume you did as well.
Yeah. I sure just hope we didn't do something that's gonna get us in trouble.
Well, I know I have not done anything, so I don't know if you have or not.
No, I actively try not to. I'm Chance, by the way.
Layla.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. I don't suppose you know any reason as to why we are here.
Now, either we're in trouble or we're getting a job. One or two.
Well, I suppose all we can do is wait.
Yeah.
And indeed, after a 10-15 minute wait, a gentleman, although not quite dressed like a gentleman, comes down. Shaggy black short hair, very intense looking eyes, just a grumpy expression on his face, and he cuts a very very imposing figure, the leather jacket and ripped jeans. He looks incredible. If he looks incredibly out of place in a nice establishment, but he immediately sees the two of you, and he makes his way over.
I see they let anyone in here now.
Chance will just blank stare. Not even trying to like hide it.
He looks the two of you over. There's supposed to be 3. Where's the third?
Does it look like we even knew how many we were supposed to be meeting?
Nobody says nothing anymore. Whatever. Fine, we'll give him a couple more minutes. Hargraves isn't going to be happy about this, though. I'm Killian, by the way. I'm the sheriff. I don't think I've met either of you two yet.
Layla.
Chance.
He just kind of stands there with his arms crossed and stares at the door, waiting for Ted to show up. Who does? Eventually. And how would Ted like to make his grand entrance?
Walk in and just look around, because I think he's probably only been in here a couple times.
You're new enough that you would have been there at least once, maybe a couple times if you feed off the rack. But as the other two, you are ushered downstairs. This time, the guard is looking a little bit frazzled, probably by the fact that you were late. And you are directed downstairs, and as soon as you open the door, Killian marches up to you. Please tell me you're the other one that's supposed to come here.
I got a letter a little while ago.
Oh, thank fuck. And he has to physically restrain himself from just grabbing you by the arm and hauling you across the room to the other two. Come on.
To put on, Pet is definitely dressed not quite as well as Killian. He definitely has done his own patchwork on his clothes.
As he has Ted follow him across the room, he gestures to Layla and Chance to follow him to a set of elevators at the back of the room.
Follow.
As will Chance.
So he takes you to the elevators, and there's only one button on the inside of the elevator, which he presses. And it feels like a long ride. You think you're going to the top of the hotel, if not like the absolute top.
We realize it is not wise to keep the prince waiting.
Sorry, I had to huff it here. Most cars don't respond well to me.
Oh. Y'all one of them. All right.
Interesting.
Killian huffs and moves to put himself between you and the elevator control panel.
Please don't tell me you're going to send us careening to the bottom.
Even if it goes out, there's always emergency brakes. We won't be going anywhere. And after a minute, a little less than a minute, the elevator dings and spits you out on a very short hallway. There are 2 doors. One looks like it probably leads to a storage closet, and then at the end of the short hallway is a set of double doors. Come on. We're going through the end. And Killian leads you into the hallway.
Continue to follow.
That will follow, but I'll also be kind of eyeballing everything.
And Chance will follow and try to keep pace slightly behind Killian. And just very, very slightly.
It's a pretty sparse interior, very formal looking. Still matches the rest of the hotel that what you've seen of the lobby and the bar at the bottom. No windows, at least not in the hallway. There's one picture that looks like it's a black and white aerial of the city itself. And as you 3 approach the end of the hallway, Killian knocks on the door, waits a beat. And you hear a lock click, and he opens it for you. Everybody in.
As you say. Step in.
Chance will also step in.
That's what that.
And you guys come into a very spacious area that has been set up as like some sort of odd mixture of meeting place and small bar. There are floor to ceiling windows that are very deeply tinted, and there is a long conference table with about 20 chairs seated around it. And at the end of this very long conference table sits a woman in a high back chair. Got shoulder length brown hair, very intense dark eyes, and she's sitting very stiffly and primly and just watching you guys as you enter.
As Chance enters, he will actually announce himself specifically. Chancellor Greenwall, Ventru, and walk toward the end of the table until directed to either sit down or stop.
She nods at you and gestures towards the table.
Layla will step in as well, giving a slight head bow and making her way to where Chance is.
That will awkwardly mimic Layla.
The woman will nod at each of you in turn and gesture to the table as she did Chance. And once the 3 of you are seated, she turns to you. I'm going to overlook the fact that you were late for now. Since this is our first meeting, I will extend you that grace. Please do not be late again.
My apologies.
I do not think I know all of you. Layla, yes?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Tan's protege of sorts.
Yes.
And Chance? We met briefly, as I recall,
Yes,
a while ago.
yes. When I showed up to the city.
Good to see you are well. I do not believe I know you. And she'll turn to Ted.
Yeah, Ted, I arrived here like 6 months ago.
Well, it would have been good form to announce yourself, but as I said, I am willing to overlook that. And I am going to cut to the chase because I do not have the time or patience to dawdle around tonight. All three of you have been recommended as very capable people in one way or another. And unfortunately, I need capable hands. We have recently had an incident that has required a lot of cleanup. Unfortunately, due to the nature of the incident, I am down the hands that usually handle said cleanup. And I have been recommended the three of you to assist with this matter. The three of you are going to essentially act as Killian's hounds tonight. And are going to assist with some cleanup at a warehouse on the south side. How much have you heard about the incident on the south side?
Storyteller?
Go ahead and roll me either wits and streetwise or intelligence and politics.
One.
Be a 1 for me as well.
1.
Okay, so all three of you have not heard much other than what has been on some of the more mundane news that you've caught here, snippets of here and there. Rumors of an explosion at what everyone was thought was an abandoned warehouse. Something about some improperly stored equipment. Not too much. It kind of surprises you that the prince would be concerned with that.
I would assume that this is dealing with the whole explosion of fire at one of the warehouses.
Yes. Unfortunately, the incident was not just a mundane explosion. There was some interference by some outside parties. Now, most of the physical concerns were dealt with in said explosion, and it has been quite thoroughly written off by the local press without much issue. Our concerns are in regards to humans that might have seen something they weren't supposed to, as I have had it on good authority that something was there that should not have been there. What I need from the three of you tonight is you are going to track down 2 of the security guards that were supposed to be on duty that night. See what they know, deal with them accordingly.
Do we know
There
anything
was-
about them?
Yes. There was a 3rd guard there that night who we have already questioned and gotten a little bit of information from. However, he didn't seem to know much. He did, however, give us the names of 2 of his compatriots, the 2 that you will be questioning tonight. The first one is a woman by the name of Liza McNell. She is said to be the boss, I think he called her. Seems to be the one that kind of wrangled jobs for the small company that they work for. And the second person that you'll be talking to is a man by the name of Edward Nelson. Goes by the nickname Eddie. He was supposed to be on guard duty with the man we questioned. However, he never showed up that night. And unfortunately, we have not been able to track either of them down since the night in question. We have not been able to get much more than that. Oh, yes. Let's see. Liza has an apartment about 10 minutes south of the warehouse on the edge of town, like the city proper. And Eddie, we're not entirely sure where Eddie is.
Okay. Well, it sounds like start with Liza and then figure out where she knows Eddie lives. We'll get it taken care of, though. No need for you to worry. No need for Sheriff Killian to worry. Make sure everything's better by morning, hopefully.
Mm.
Worst case scenario, end of the week, but hopefully morning.
I do ask that you give Killian regular updates on your progress before the end of the night at least.
Is there a place where we can contact him?
Yes. Killian, where do you want? And he just kind of rolls his eyes before the question even finishes. You can drop a letter for me with the security guard here at the hotel. Now, if you run into any issues, please do not act hastily. I will remind you, for those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of having this conversation yet, that there is a moratorium on feeding around White River State Park. Please do not cross that boundary. And if there are any issues that seem overly threatening, do not go to any extreme risks. We have others that can deal with that. I do not want to lose any more helpful hands.
Crystal clear.
What does moratorium mean?
It means you're not going to do it.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, if you have any further questions, please ask them quickly. I am anxious to have this taken care of.
I believe we have all the information we need to start.
Wonderful.
That too.
Wonderful. Since you are doing this, not necessarily as a favor, but on my behalf, there is a security vehicle at your disposal, should you so desire to use it, if you do not wish to use your own vehicles or other assorted modes of transportation.
It is appreciated.
Don't have problems using it?
As long as you sit in the back, you should not.
Alright, I'll do that then.
Much appreciated. Very well. Good luck. Let us know what you find. And with that, she stands in a clear dismissal.
Stand up and begin to make our way out.
Yep.
I don't know.
Killian also stands and escorts you back to the elevator, down to the bar, and back out to the front, where there is a security guard pulling a looks like a Cadillac, maybe, around the front. Black, heavily tinted windows.
Y'all want to ride in that or ride in mine?
We have a car as well.
Makes no difference to me.
They'll turn to the security guard. We appreciate the offer, and maybe if we do more jobs, we'll take this one, but and I'll flag down the valet and hand him the ticket.
The security guard will nod and pull the Cadillac around to the other side of the hotel. Right behind him, the valet will pull up your truck.
That is very noticeable.
From Texas, I take it?
Of course. Come on now. And he will actually open the passenger side doors, both of them, for both of you.
We'll get in.
Not touch anything.
Yeah. Wait, Layla will get in the passenger seat.
We'll close the doors behind both of you and hop in the driver's seat and head out.
As we're driving, I may have a way to get an address for the Eddie if we need it after talking to Liza.
How would you go about doing that?
The police.
Oh, you actually got friends with them.
I know someone.
Yours is probably more legal than mine, so we'll go with yours.
Might be a good idea if we have a small clue as to what the others can do.
I think y'all heard my clan, so comes with the territory. Exactly what you expect.
My clan is unusual in the Camarilla. Name a Bruja.
Wants to either blackmail somebody or somebody really likes you.
Leather.
Somebody important likes you, then you're fine by me.
I believe we know exactly what you are, Ted.
What's on, bro?
Only so many cannot touch any technology.
Yeah. If y'all gonna be if he's gonna be around me for any extended periods of time, we gonna have to work on your wardrobe.
I agree.
I work with what I can get.
Then we will work on getting you better.
You guys are up for it?
Oh, I don't think we're gonna have a problem there. If you want it, I'll get it as long as you show me that you're worth it.
And if you need help getting into places, I can get you there.
Depending on exactly the means of getting in, maybe.
I do not fancy being potentially trapped in eternal darkness. Thank you.
It's more of a get a door open and let you guys in type thing.
That is at least handy.
Any other conversation that happens? You guys do have a few minutes. It's a good 15-20 minutes from the hotel to the address that you were given for Liza's apartment.
I think we're good.
Okay. All right, so being late at night, there's a little bit of traffic, not a lot. There's no road work, no construction holding you up. You arrive right on time to it's an older apartment building. Still got the brick facade and the long skinny windows with the black frames and a door, and it looks like it's a set of 3 apartments. And you would have been told that she lives in the 2nd floor apartment.
Okay. So walk on up and knock on the door.
Is it the type of apartments that has a locking door that you have to be buzzed in on?
No. It's a little older than that. You knock on the door. Nothing. It's quiet.
Senses and take a better listen.
Okay, go ahead and give me that roll. Two. It's surprisingly quiet, even for an apartment building. You think you might hear someone snoring on the 1st level, Past that, it's quiet as a church mouse.
Really quiet in here.
I would hope that this is the type of letting us in that you need, and you said you could do.
Yes, it is.
Oh, good.
Gonna pick the lock.
Okay.
Nine. Pair crits.
What a way to start it off. Okay. You have absolutely no problem getting through this old lock. And you let yourself in to a hallway. It's got a set of wrought iron stairs that go up. There is a teeny tiny little elevator at the back with a second exit around the back. And you can see the entrance to the first floor apartment on your left. It's kind of little dingy, little run down, laminate tile, blank white walls with a cork board by the door. Just various flyers and announcements and notices of maintenance.
Well, it seems you're quite deft with the lock, as you said. And Layla will step in.
As will Chance.
Head all in behind them.
Quietly close the door behind us.
Kind of eerie how your steps echo through the hallways and up the staircase, even very quietly. There's just no noise to compete with.
Well, shall we look for a bedroom?
Absolutely.
For a bedroom.
So, you guys go ahead and poke around, and eventually you do come to the bedroom door. It is closed. It is not locked. And there's still no signs of anyone around.
While we were searching, was there like dishes in the sink or like stuff on the table?
It'd be pretty obvious, so I'm not going to make you roll for it. There were some dishes by the sink. Nothing on the table. It seemed pretty clear.
Yeah, so worst case scenario, within 48 hours, somebody's been here. Probably.
Seems that way.
Is this a ladies' first moment?
Whoever's going to be quiet moment.
Turns to Ted. Likely our La Sombra friend.
Ted will nod and he'll go to open the door.
Okay. You open the door and the lights are off, so it's a little bit hard to see at the moment. Sorry, I got a notification. Anyway, it's hard to see at the moment, but there is something about the room, even in the low light, that feels not quite right.
any weird stunts?
Are you making a check?
Yes.
All right, go ahead and give me wits and awareness.
1.
1. You can't quite place what's wrong, especially when with it so dark in the room. You imagine you'd be able to see what's going on better with a light on.
That is going to slowly make his way in, see if his eyes can adjust to the darkness.
Okay. How long are you going to give it?
Like 2 minutes.
Okay. Go ahead and give me what's an awareness again, but add 1 more dice to your pool.
Two.
Okay. So you're still not entirely sure exactly what is going on, but as you're kind of standing there and moving and getting used to what's the sight before you, you notice that the bed is a mess. And the lampshade is a little askew. And it's starting to weird you out that you haven't seen anyone yet.
After waiting a couple minutes, Chance will just play, "Y'all all right in there?" And I'll actually step in and just like flick the light on, because at this point, if nothing's going to happen, it's not going to happen in his eyes.
No one's in here.
And
Don't like
as
it.
you sorry, go ahead.
I don't like it.
And as Chance flicks the light on, you can definitely see why you felt something was off. Aside from the bed being a mess and the lamp knocked askew, there are bloody drag marks leading to the master bathroom.
That ain't good.
To the bathroom.
Yep, Layla's heading there.
Okay. Let's see. You both are at 2. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. Everyone that enters the room, go ahead and roll me just straight composure. Tell me what you get.
Chance is actually not going to.
You're in the room already, though. You turn the light on.
Not the master.
Not the
Not
bathroom.
master bathroom.
3.
Okay, is Ted going into the bathroom?
Yeah, he went first.
Okay, what'd you roll?
2.
Okay. So you both are kind of taken aback by the scene because it is a bloody mess. And by bloody mess, I mean that quite literally, in that there is blood everywhere. Coating the walls, splattered all over the tile, by the bath, all over the sink. And there is a window at the back of the bathroom that has been opened, and there are bloody handprints, like someone was gripping the inside of the frame as they were being pulled out through the window.
It is not good.
How long is the body? Does the body look like it's been there?
There is no body that you can see. It's just blood. If you would like to try and determine how long the blood has been there, you can give me intelligence and investigation or intelligence and medicine.
Investigation is much better.
Same.
Chance might get dirty. He's not going in there still.
4.
Okay. So Ted's not entirely sure. You imagine it's been within you imagine it's been within 2 or 3 days since the event in question. Layla, you're pretty sure this happened within the past 24 hours.
She'll like touch it in with it coming back tacky ish. She'll just spin on her heel and walk back out into the main room. Wiping it off on like the wall or something.
I assume that ain't a good sign.
No. The bathroom is coated in blood and it looks like somebody was dragged out the window. Likely within the past day.
Chance will look around and try to find either a cell phone or a computer.
Okay. Are you going to do a cursory glance around, or are you going to take the time to really look?
He'd probably take a little bit of time to actually look.
Okay. So go ahead and give me what's an investigation.
That is not his strong suit. I got 1 in a skull.
Ted can help, but not touch anything.
Okay. If you want to go ahead and roll that.
2.
2. Okay. So you don't manage to find a laptop. You find a power cable that might have gone to a laptop. So there was one here at one point, but you don't find the laptop. You do, however, find an address book sitting out on her desk.
Run down through, look for Eddie Nelson.
Okay. And you do find Eddie Nelson at the back of her contact list under coworkers. And he has a house not too far from here. Just a little bit further west into a slightly nicer neighborhood.
Okay.
It should only take a couple minutes to get there by car.
We'll keep a mental note of that. Good news, we found out where Eddie's supposed to live.
Oh, good.
We should probably call somebody to take care of this.
Is there a house phone or something?
You haven't seen one here?
Well,
There might be an emergency phone in the hallway. You're not entirely sure.
well, unless one of you happen to have a cell phone on you, we might be out of luck for that.
That's funny.
On me, no, but in the truck, yes.
Interesting.
You have to keep up certain appearances when you run businesses and such.
That is in my office.
And he will actually head out to the truck and go into the glove box and turn it on. It's not new by any means, but it's not super old, probably a couple years old. And he will call one of his retainers.
It'll ring for a second. Hey, boss, what you need?
Somebody decided to do some painting. They got it everywhere. I'm gonna send you over the address. Make sure our cleanup crew gets on it and takes care of it.
We have a deadline.
Sooner the better. But obviously make sure everything's staffed properly.
It's been a slow night. I'll send a couple guys over with a couple of the usual buckets of paint thinner.
Good. I won't be here, but the front door will be unlocked. Make sure it gets locked on the way out, please.
You may need to tell them to check the outside.
Oh, and make sure they didn't get any paint in the exterior as well. They might have.
Sure.
I don't know.
Sure thing, boss. We find anything, should we tell you?
Less I know, the better.
Gotcha. All right, we'll get it taken care of.
Thank you. And he will hang up and immediately shut the phone off again.
Actually, Layla's, after her comment, she is gonna pop around the back to see kind of where that bathroom window was.
There is, popping around the back, there is what looks like a fire escape that kind of lines the building and runs underneath the bathroom window.
There's no obvious body laying on it, I assume. Is there
No.
blood on the bottom? She's not going to go up, but around the bottom, is there blood?
You don't see any on the bottom.
She'll swing back around then. There is no lead at the base of the stairs, at least. They weren't that sloppy.
I guess that would be a positive then, wouldn't it?
It would have been called in much sooner if there was.
Exactly. Let's go see if Eddie's okay or not.
Likely not, but one can hope.
And we'll pile everyone in.
All right. And as mentioned earlier, Eddie doesn't live too far away. It's got a house just a couple neighborhoods over in a nicer area. It's a small-ish one-story house with about a quarter-acre yard, fenced in back. Looks like a pretty standard house.
Are any of the neighbors' houses lit or windows, like window curtains drawn or looking like they're looking outside?
No, it's pretty quiet. Everyone's got their shades drawn. There's a house maybe 2 or 3 blocks down. You can see like flashes from what might be like a TV or a computer screen through like a crack in the curtains.
But nowhere like immediate vicinity of Eddie's house.
No.
Shall we go knocking?
Do the courteous thing first. Yeah. And much like the apartment, Chance will knock on the door.
And this time, when you knock on the door, you hear some shuffling at the back, and after a moment, you kind of hear a woman mumbling something on the other side of the door before it opens up. And in front of you is a rather disgruntled 30-something woman, curlers in her hair, got a fuzzy pink bathrobe on. And she's just kind of looking up to you. It's 11 o'clock at night. What are you... Can I help you?
I apologize. I'm just looking for Eddie. He ain't showed up for work a couple days, and I just want to make sure he's okay. Make sure he's not in like the hospital or anything.
She looks at you confusedly for a minute. Eddie called in sick. Are you work friends of his or something?
I'm the person that owns the place that he's working at right now. Not technically his boss because Liza, but you know.
Charisma and persuasion.
I can do that. That's a good pool for me. That would be 4.
Okay. She just kind of stares at you for a minute and then gives a long-suffering sigh. You night guards and your weird hours. Come on in.
You will proceed on in.
Step in.
You guys might want to take some hand sanitizer, and she'll point to this big jug of hand sanitizer sitting on a pedestal, for lack of a better term, right there by the entrance. I guess he really never did get through to Liza, but he called out sick with COVID a while back. Hasn't been back to work in a few days because he's been still getting over it. Can't make you put on a mask, but I can at least ask you guys to... whatever. You can tell she's just exhausted as she just kind of dismissively waves you towards the hand sanitizer.
Layla will actually take some and use it to get whatever blood residue is left on her hands off.
And Chance will go through the motions and like put them on and all of it.
I will pick some too, but he'll make mental note of any reflective surfaces and try to stay away from them.
There is a small decorative mirror hanging by the front entrance. But that's the only one that you can see at the moment, aside from maybe the windows.
And Layla positioned herself between Ted and the mirror, if it's easy to see.
Absolutely.
What?
I said absolutely she can do that if you want.
I can't hear you. Hang on. Okay.
I said absolutely. That is very easily done. And she ushers you into a small but comfortable living room with very plush couches and a low wooden coffee table with a nice TV. It's not on. She flicks on a lamp by the coffee table. Have a seat. I'll haul Eddie out. And she shuffles back towards what you assume to be the master bedroom at the back of the house.
Are we going to interrogate him about Liza?
A couple questions probably ain't gonna be too bad, but personally, I don't really care about Liza so much.
He was one of the people we have to find, and if someone's hunting them, somebody knows something.
Yes, but we'll get that information here after we take care of Eddie. They know not to let me know over phone lines. I'll talk to them in person.
And after a moment, you hear 2 pairs of feet come shuffling out from the back of the house. And you see the young woman escorting a man not too much older than her, it's a little hard to tell because he's got one of those pale bluish white surgical masks on, and he's got a striped blue and white bathrobe on, and is kind of shuffling down in these big oversized slippers, and he just kind of takes a look at all y'all and plops himself down in an easy chair next to the coffee table across from the couch.
Mr. Nelson,
Yes.
I do apologize for coming so late. I know it's after 11, but meetings and finally getting around to things. This is really the only time that fit in my schedule.
Right.
And-
We all keep weird schedules. I get it.
And
Is this an insurance thing?
I was actually kind of curious because I haven't gotten the time cards and all that fun stuff from Liza in a little bit. Apparently she's taking care of it on her end, but when's the last day that you actually worked?
Let's see. I think the 12th was my last shift. Called out on the 13th after I tested positive with COVID for the first time. Hadn't been back since. I was supposed to actually talk to Liza today because I just tested negative for the first time this morning. Tried to call her and didn't hear anything.
Yeah, have you heard about the incident at the warehouse?
Yeah, she told me some sort of equipment malfunction. Whole thing went up. Glad I wasn't there that night.
I'm just happy nobody got hurt.
Got that right. Did you see some of that? No, you probably didn't.
No,
Don't mind me.
I wasn't in the area. I just wanted to make sure that you were okay. Hadn't been able to get a hold of you. Liza's been not responding to me so much either. So
Hope I
don't
didn't
feel
get her
bad.
sick.
No, I don't think you got her sick. I think just everything that's happened, stress and all that fun stuff.
It's always been a tough one. It's handled a lot. Of course, it's not really my place to be gossiping.
Oh. When's the last time you actually talked to somebody outside this house? Go ahead and gossip.
I've been worried about Liza lately. I don't mind telling you. I have a cousin that works in the cruise ship business. I was gonna see if, since he's a captain, maybe he could book her a cabin one of these days. She's been so stressed lately. She hasn't really been talking to us outside of work. We used to hang out all the time, go for late night drinks. There's a bar just around the corner we used to go to all the time, but she stopped coming a couple weeks back, maybe about a month now. Said something about taking up a job on the side, which was surprising to me considering how much she already worked. And it's not an unsubstantial amount of money. I mean, like, I got 2 kids that I raise off the money we make.
Do you have any idea where her other
No.
job was?
I wish I did. I tried to tell her so many times she didn't need it. She wouldn't say anything about it other than that first night. And even then, it took us getting her, like, plastered drunk to even find out that she took this stupid job.
You got any names or anything like that? Because If she's there, I'd like to go talk to her, obviously.
Wish I did. Trying to remember what she said that night. Yeah. It was a private security thing, maybe? Some. Oh, that's right. That's what it was. It was a private security gig for some rich kid named Azzy. Never heard of the guy. I guess he's probably one of these new fangled like Bitcoin miners or upstart think tankers. You know how kids are these days, I'm sure.
Yeah. At least it's not a trust fund baby, right?
I wouldn't put it past him.
Well, but that's enough for me to go off of. I do appreciate it. You get better, all right? And actually, you gotta, and we'll look to his, I assume, partner. Y'all got a pen and piece of paper, write your number down, and I'll make sure I get you on another assignment, and I might actually take you onto my actual staff.
Oh, yeah, okay. And his wife gets up and moves to the kitchen, grabs a just a standard notebook and a pencil that she keeps by the fridge. You can see the imprints of grocery lists passed.
And we'll write down name, number, address. Both y'all, take care of yourself. Hopefully you don't get sick either, but I know chances are. And you make sure you're feeling better. Yeah. We'll just kind of turn to the other two. Y'all ready?
Yes, I believe we have all we need.
All right. Thanks again. And as they're walking out, Chance will take one more pump of the hand sanitizer.
Same. Standing between Ted and the mirror.
Also,
And the missus will see you out, and you hear her shut and lock the door behind you. Turn off the lights and shuffle off, you assume, back to bed.
Did we leave Liza's book at the house? I think we did.
Probably.
Is there any way that the person you could call could check the book for this name?
I could probably get a hold of my crew chief. And we'll turn the phone back on and call who usually heads the crew of cleanup.
You hear a voice on the other line. What's cooking, good looking?
Y'all at the house yet?
We're just about rolling up.
When you get there, there's going to be an address book. I need y'all to look in there for a name Azzy. If you got a name, number, address, anything, let me know, all right?
Yeah. Give us a couple minutes.
I appreciate it. Phone will be on.
Nothing. Hang up. Anything you guys would like to do in the meanwhile?
Should we swing by the warehouse and potentially see if we can find any clues?
Probably wouldn't hurt that, and we can at least get away from this area.
To the warehouse.
Okay. So it's actually not too terribly hard to find where the warehouse is. It's pretty obvious now with the scorching pile of rubble and the there's a few orange cones still sitting on the sidewalk by the entrance. The roof looks kind of half caved in or melted or something.
Is there any police outside of here?
Go ahead and roll me wits and awareness.
3.
I got lower than everybody else.
Okay, so Ted and Chance didn't really see anything. Layla, you spotted a police car several blocks back. Looked like it was probably idling in a speed trap, not actively looking for people, and it was a little ways away.
So there's no presence here preventing people from exploring it.
No.
Then once Chance stops the vehicle, pop out.
Be about half a block down, but he'll stop.
I didn't see anyone patrolling around there, so we should be okay, I think.
I will catch up with y'all once I get a call. I'll go ahead, though.
Ted and Layla. How would you like to approach?
The front door? Or what used to be the front door? Front area? I don't know how burned out this is.
The front part looks to be relatively intact. You can see some like scorch marks on the exterior brick, but the door's not melted away or twisted into a heap or anything.
They can open the door quietly.
Let's see here. Go ahead and give me dexterity and stealth.
Break can apply here.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and give it to you here.
Or
Okay. So you open it and you can tell it's a little bit stuck with like some residue or something, like the ash has gotten into the hinges and gotten wet and stickied it a little. And you can kind of feel when it threatens to creak a little bit, but you manage to catch it and just kind of continue to ease it open. And soon enough, the door is open. Peering into a half-wrecked, melted heap of metal and brick and steel beams, burnt crates.
Start making our way in.
Yep, Liza's not taking super great care about being quiet. Just stepping around the obvious things. But just keeping an eye out for anything that seems that it stands out or odd.
Okay. So, you guys go ahead and roll me either wits and awareness or intelligence and investigation. And while you are rolling that, we are going to hop back to Chance. You get that phone call you were expecting shortly after they start walking away from the car.
Answers it. Hello.
Hey, I think we found that book you were talking about. It was the address book sitting out on her desk.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't have an address for an Azzy. We have a cell phone number.
It's a good start. Go ahead and send that over to me. I'll give him a ring so see what we can come up with.
Sure thing, boss. Anything else?
No, just make sure inside and out.
You could have warned us for how gross the bathroom was going to be.
Oh, I told him. It's his fault.
He tells me nothing anymore. We'll get it taken care of. Let us know if you need anything else.
Meet you back home.
And he hangs up.
And he will go ahead and call the number once he receives it.
Okay. We will get to that in a second. Liza and Ted, what did you guys roll?
3.
4.
3 and 4. Okay. So you guys are looking around, and at first nothing out of the ordinary really seems to be there. As they said, it seems to be a bunch of just like construction equipment that was stored there, some boxes full of this, that, and the other that are similarly related. However, at the back, at what looks like a loading dock, you do find what looks to be a melted cell phone underneath a pile of ash.
Pick it up, take a look. Oh, actually, that's not touching it.
No. Layla's gonna slap his hand if he goes to touch it.
He'll instinctively reach for it and stop himself.
Don't touch it. And she'll pick it up.
And it is an absolutely melted and destroyed beyond use cell phone. It looks like it was a very new model. Or at least it was before it got smushed.
May need to visit some Nosferatu.
Does it look at all worth salvaging?
Well, no. Does it look like it can have anything salvaged out of it?
Go ahead and give me intelligence and technology.
Okay. I have a technology dot. Oh no. What in the skull?
Also one.
I'm not that mean. We'll
Hey. Actually, my Bane might be pretty interesting here.
I mean, fair. Yeah, go ahead and
Or the compulsion. Whatever you want to do.
hold on to that thought for just a hot second. You're not really sure. It looks pretty mushed. However, you think there might be a chance. You don't know.
Go pocket it.
Okay. And with that, let's pop back to Chance real quick. So you call the number, and it goes straight to voicemail. This is Azzy. If you got the number, you know what to do.
We'll leave a message. Hi, Azzy. Looking to see if we can make some mutual benefits here. Give me a call back and we'll give the number. Just hopefully we can work something out. And we'll hang up.
What would Chance like to do from there?
Will make his way at least to the front door, if not all the way inside, to meet up with everyone else.
Okay. So, shortly after Layla and Ted pick up the phone and start poking at it and discussing their options of what to do with it, you are eventually pretty quickly joined by Chance.
Y'all find anything interesting yet?
On the phone.
I don't suppose you know any Nosferatu.
Well, let me take a look at it first.
I'll hand it over.
You will see if it's even remotely salvageable.
All right, intelligence and technology.
That would be 2 as well.
Okay. So, like the others, you're not entirely sure. It's definitely not working now, and if it was salvageable, it would take a lot to get it back into working order. But the back doesn't look too bad. Maybe.
I don't personally know any Nosferatu, but I'm sure we could probably find some.
We should probably check in with Killian soon anyway.
Probably. I got my people cleaning up the issues that we found. I got a number for Azzy. Hopefully, they're going to give me a call back here in a little bit.
Well, while we wait, it might be a good time to go do that.
Probably. And, yeah. Back to the truck and back to the hotel.
Would Chance have paper in his car?
He would. He absolutely would.
Once they get to the hotel, Layla will start penning like what they have found. And then wrap it up with a cell phone.
Okay. And so as you're driving, you get pretty close to the heart of downtown when Chance's phone starts going off.
Answer it. Hello.
I got a very interesting message from this number.
I assume this is Azzy.
And I assume you have a business proposal?
I do, actually. First, I got to figure out exactly what kind of business y'all into. I just heard you got quite a bit of money. And I'm sure merging our two financial statuses probably wouldn't necessarily be the worst thing in the world for anybody, especially if it can make us even more.
Well, certainly got something calling me up. And I don't know you. My business is my business, but might be able to work something out. What you got?
Well, currently, my most active business is entertainment, but I've been in everything from biofuel, chemistry, petroleum. Did a little bit of textile there for a little bit. Any number of things I can really get you in contact with the right people at the very least. And maybe I can bridge some gaps if need be.
Man of many connections. Interesting. Tell you what. Before I say yes or no, let's meet.
Give me a time and a place, and I'll make sure I'm there.
I'm a little bit busy tonight, so it's going to have to happen tomorrow.
Kind of busy during the day, so if you can. When's good for you?
Well, if your schedule's anything like mine, which I suspect it is if you have this number. Let's say midnight at what's a good place? There's nothing good around here. Primogen's I'll open up that real gaudy place. I don't want to go there.
Tell you
shoot.
what. Make
What
it
you
easy.
got?
Come to the Sword and Scepter.
Sword and the Scepter. Don't think I've heard of the place. Where's it at?
You can find us on pretty much any of the local search engines. I'll be there whenever you need me.
All right. You can expect me around midnight.
All right. Sounds good.
Just so you know, this is a one-shot deal. If you're not there when I'm there, nothing happens.
Oh, I think I'll be there.
That's what I like to hear. And I'll hang up.
Sword and scepter.
Bit on the nose, or
A little too close to the nose.
it's okay. They're not crossed.
That changes so much.
Anyway, meeting tomorrow at midnight, Mona. Pen that in as well. Unless if you feel like don't need to.
Well, sure. What do you think?
I'm always under the assumption that it's not a lie if you just omit something. So until we fully figure out that either they know something or they don't, let's leave that part out.
There's no point in bringing up to the prince's or sheriff's attention if it turns out to be nothing, right?
Exactly. If it does turn out to be something, well, then we already did most of their job for them.
Crumple the paper and start a new one, because she had started to write it.
Right.
Soon enough, you've got a new paper written and you're pulling into the parking lot of the hotel.
Do you want me to just run in and drop this off, or do you want to come in as well?
Come in as well. Probably ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Ted?
Coming to.
So go over park, probably not too far from Layla's car, and walk in with everyone.
And as the three of you walk in, you actually see Killian at the security desk, feet up on the desk, chatting with one of the security guards. Kind of pulls his feet off the desk and stands up as you approach.
Well, I had written down what happened just in case you were not here. And then she'll hand over the note, which has the phone wrapped inside of it.
He kind of frowns. You brought me a twisted hunk of metal.
I'm not sure if anything can be gleaned from it. It was in the building fire.
I got someone who might be able to look over this. See if we can get anything from it. It's not my thing.
Fine.
All right. I'll go over the letter. You guys can stick around, grab a bite if you want. If not, I don't care. Prince will probably want to talk to you a little bit later, depending on what you got.
I believe there are still a few leads to follow up on. We were just checking in.
All right. Well, you go finish up your leads. I'll go over this.
And she'll walk away.
Chancel's just gonna like give a not quite hat tip because there's no hat, but you know.
Killian will just kind of snort.
Does it go?
That gets a roll of the eyes before he turns back to settle back into his chair. Prop his feet back up on the desk and start reading through the letter.
Back out to the cars. Do we have any more leads?
Just the one be taken care of tomorrow.
Nothing else to do tonight, then.
All that I can think of. I can probably have people look into this Azzy fella.
We cannot
Probably
do
not a
much without
real
a
name,
name.
but
Did we hear any of the conversation, or was it just on it was off speaker?
it was definitely off speaker.
Okay. Layla will actually take that crumpled piece of paper and write her cell phone down on the back of it. Not that I keep it on me, but for an emergency.
Well, I got about 70 of these things, one in each car. And then I got one for the club or the establishment. That one's a landline though, so
That is an awful lot of cell phones.
yes, I only turn them on if I'm driving a vehicle and feel like I'm gonna need them. I also went down to the local big box store and just bought a bunch of them at one time. Not all at one time because that would look weird, you know. Spread out of the course for a couple weeks. So they're not actually connected to me or any of my people.
And yet you were the one that bought them.
My money. Through the business.
As you say.
Figured out how to get a hold of you. How did we get a hold of you?
I'm currently staying at such and such place. So just send a letter my way.
Are we addressing it to Ted or somebody else?
Stud works.
How much space you got?
A little bit, not too much.
What's your size? Because like I said, if we're going to be dealing with you, you've got to look a little bit more presentable.
It would be a way to spend the rest of the evening.
Large.
If you would like to drive your own vehicle, you can come with us. We'll get you something to wear.
Seems as though we will be working with each other for at least the next night or two, so why not?
So load Ted back up into the truck and off to the business establishment we go.
Layla will follow in her sharp black car. I don't know, maybe a Charger or something.
When you do finally pull up to everything, go like to the back where all the cars are parked. There's like 3 vans that are like normal, like moving vans and stuff like that. 2 sedans and then the truck.
It's pretty quiet out back. You see a couple of your people unloading what looks to be cleaning supplies out of one of the vehicles. They probably just got back from their job.
We'll just kind of give him a wave as goes inside.
They're fast and efficient.
Sure hope so.
As you usher,
them.
sorry,
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, as you usher your fellows inside, one of the crew, one of the newer ones, comes trotting up to you. Hey, I was told you might not want to go back to the apartment for a minute. Dave accidentally knocked a little bit of the bleach into a sink that we were cleaning with some Clorox, and it kind of got gassed, but we aired it out. But just to be safe, you might not want to go back for a little bit.
I appreciate it. Everybody's okay though, right?
Oh yeah, couple headaches from Dave himself, but we're mostly fine.
Ammonia chloride does that to you. It's real bad for the lungs.
They'll nod and go trotting back off to help continue unloading.
And the somewhat happy, like personable experience kind of goes away and just shakes his head and heads upstairs.
Well, so much for careful.
He's fired. It's okay. On the way up, we'll stop to the person that he talked to at the beginning of the night and just see if they've gotten what he had asked for.
And yeah, I got you. There's a couple people sitting on the couch. Take your pick. Usual.
Just make sure Ted over there don't touch anything. He's got
Gives him on.
the hands that do bad things.
Oh, he's one of those, huh?
Yeah, he's fine though. And Layla, I think she's all right. And y'all two, just excuse me for just a little bit. I will be right back. And he will go to his personal quarters, actually.
All right. What would Layla and Ted like to do while Chance is feeding?
So where are we? Are we in like a waiting area or what? Where are we?
It would be kind of like a back stock room right now. There's multiple levels, as we've kind of discussed.
Mm-hmm.
And you'd probably be ushered up to the very top where the office is.
Okay. She would just be looking around but not touching anything, not snooping, but just walking and looking.
Ted will
Okay.
be looking around quite curiously as they're lit up.
Okay. Two, you go ahead and give me what's in awareness, please.
Do.
All right. So, Dengle, what would a 2 and a 3 get our curious kindred?
Probably the obvious stuff for the most part. The fact that like they apparently do a high volume of adult beverages through here. There is a freezer, so it's probably some food being made at some point. There's probably some sort of like stage prop because there's stage prop area or stage device area like speakers or lights or whatever. And then there seems to be a lot of security as well. For whatever reason.
Layla won't interact with anyone unless they say something to her first, but that's all she's doing. She's just wandering and not snooping, but just checking things out.
Imagine you'll get a lot of polite nods, maybe a few curious looks.
Nod back and ignore the rest.
So, Ed and Layla explore. Chance feeds. How far are you taking the feeding? Just down to 1 or going all the way?
No, just down to 1.
After a while, Chance finishes his feeding. I assume he rejoins the others?
Yes.
Or do you have something else to do?
will join the others with which you would assume is probably the laptop used for business purposes at the establishment. And we'll basically go through and put a bunch of clothes on order for Ted. So at least he has something decent to wear. Set to pick up that day, and he'll send somebody to pick him up and bring him to the club.
Thanks, Willis.
Good. I was not looking forward to having to see that another night.
And no offense, but
Oh no, entirely offensive. Your clothing is atrocious.
I do what I can.
yeah. Yeah, forgot what I was gonna say. Like halfway through the thought, I was like, I just blanked. So
It happens. So, about how long do you want to spend on the clothes?
enough to be able to get him a week and a half of clothes.
Okay. So, by the time you've got them ordered and someone is running out to pick them up, it's approaching 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. Got a couple hours. Not a lot, but a little.
So, Ted, how long have you been here in the city?
6 months now. It's told that Amaria cities were better for our kind.
What were you prior?
Sire kind of just turned me and ran, so I don't really have an allegiance. I'm just kind of picking up things here and there.
How long have you been a kindred?
5 years.
You have quite a bit to learn about being in the Camarilla. But at least we do not have to worry about you using technology.
I assume it's not allowed here.
Without very, very good reason, of course.
We have to keep up the guises of being mortal, of course, but beyond that, no.
Sweet.
So stuff like this, having a phone in the car, because that's what normal people do. It's understandable. Anytime you go into that hotel, make sure that anybody you're with doesn't have anything on them. All right.
Okay, sounds good.
There especially. I don't suppose you know anything else about the Camarilla, do you? I believe that will be a tomorrow project then, as we meet with Ozzy. As we are waiting for it.
Yeah, it's around midnight.
If we meet up sooner, we can go over that so we are not embarrassed.
Something tells me they probably aren't.
I don't mean from him, I meant from the Camarilla in general. on dealing with Ted.
That's fair.
So he doesn't get killed.
Big thing is, don't do anything stupid.
Oh,
There are a lot of nuances that you got to get used to. How long y'all been here, Layla?
I've been in this city for about a year.
Fall in between y'all two. 8, 9 months now, somewhere in there. Took a while to get this place set up, but it's fine. We're open. We're making a profit. It's not a very, very big profit right now, but it's fine. We'll endure.
You have apparently done this very quickly.
It helps coming from where I came from.
Down south, I assume.
Then he'll actually point over to a bookshelf. And you will see a Super Bowl ring sitting there. That was a football player. Started off with money, went into oil. I got that money.
Lucky you.
Sometimes you got to make your own luck, but in this particular case, I was lucky enough to be born into a family that had some money.
I'm familiar with the former.
And I assume you're probably a little bit older than both of us.
What did I say, about 20 years, I think?
Something like that.
I don't have it written down right here. I've only been a Kindred for about 10 years.
And I'm at 7, so
Schooled for 10 before that.
oh, mine was about a year and a half. I was very driven.
Seems exceedingly quick for one of your clan.
It was. But, like I said, when you have the drive that I had and still have, you're rewarded with things a lot faster, as one should be if you actually take the initiative.
Agreed.
I would hope that any buddy sires aren't going to be too much of a problem.
Mine's not in the city.
Mine isn't either. Ted, you don't know where yours is, I assume.
nope.
Then there's only one that I'm worried about. The one we don't know where they are. I would assume they're not here because, well, that'd be bad for them, but
They did not sound like they were Camarilla.
no, this sounded like they were the other one.
Other one?
Likely an anarch. By the way, don't embrace anyone.
Okay.
You will be killed.
Yes.
Got it.
Dueling is hit or miss.
I would still ask permission first.
Err on the side of caution.
Mine are
Okay.
holdovers from Texas.
One of the Camarilla rules.
Is it cool?
Oh
Hold
my.
Hold on. And he'll open up the door and just play, Martin, I need you up here.
Coming. And Martin comes trotting in.
Martin,
Yes, boss?
please explain to Ted exactly what a ghoul is, please.
It is teaching night.
It's our arrangement.
Wonderful. A ghoul is somewhere between almost kindred and not quite. We are helpers bound to someone. We get a little taste of their power in exchange for our help and devotion.
Yes, and as long as you don't abuse that devotion, typically not that big of a deal. However, there are those that would abuse it. However, like Martin here said, they get benefits from it as well. A little bit faster, a little bit stronger. And Martin here can be very persuasive.
They can tap into one of your abilities, typically.
Okay, so superpowered humans with kindred blood and also probably a masquerade breach if we do it wrong.
Yes.
If you do it wrong, yes. But again, if you're smart about it and you ask permission, shouldn't be any problems.
Martin kind of hides a snicker.
Now, thank you. Figured coming from the mouth of one that we are talking about, it's probably the best way to go about doing the explanation.
Fair enough. Let me know if you need anything else.
No, that's it. Any happenings tonight that I should know about here?
Caught some kids trying to tag up the back of the building, but that's about it.
They were dealt with accordingly.
Of course.
Good. Thank you.
Martin will excuse himself. I imagine by this time it's starting to push into the wee hours.
Layla will look at whatever clock is around. I believe I need to be leaving soon.
Yes, it's getting toward that time. By all means, take your leave.
When would you like us here?
Or midnight. The exact timing, I don't really care. I'll be here until I'm not. And if I'm not here when you get here, I'll be here eventually. Enjoy yourself. Downstairs is... You don't strike me as the party type, but the other side, maybe.
What is the other side?
Bit more of a lounge. A lot more laid back.
That is more my style, but I will be getting back to my charge business, whatever you wish to call it.
Until tomorrow, then.
Well, tomorrow. Ted, do you need a ride anywhere?
I think I should be fine. Thank you.
Get caught in the sunlight. And Layla will take her leave.
All right. So, Chance. Anything else you would like to do before the day sleep?
He would actually go to the front entrance and do his checkup there. And also, because something else that we agreed upon before all this started, do the checkup on the other two animals that he has. It's a pair of Dobermans. Make sure that they have been taken care of.
They have indeed. Their handler will tell you that they were a little restless early on in the evening when they realized you weren't here, but settled down quite quickly when they were distracted appropriately. Had a lot of fun scaring the kids off.
Good. They get any souvenirs to take back?
No, kids were a little bit faster. I imagine the Dobermans will catch them one of these days.
Maybe we need to work on them being a little bit quieter. Take the tags off next time.
Will do.
And we'll give them both scratches and play with them for 20-30 minutes before heading off to bed.
All right. And Layla.
We will
Make your
make-
way. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, she's just going to make her way straight back to the library.
Okay. When you enter the library, there is a familiar face waiting for you by the desk. He's not seated there. He's just kind of leaning against it, reading a book. Shoulder-length black hair, very sharp, angular features, very immaculately dressed. This you know to be Mr. Tristan Tan, the Ventru Primogen.
Mr. Tan?
Ah, Layla, good evening. I had heard you were to meet with the prince tonight. How was your evening?
It was less informative than I had hoped.
Oh?
We didn't find too much yet.
You know better than most that knowledge comes with work.
Yes, we have more leads to follow up on.
Good. And how are you finding your accommodations?
Sufficient. It is safe and it is a place to stay. I enjoy the atmosphere.
Good, good. I wanted to make sure you had everything you needed. We are in sore need of help, and we are grateful to have you here.
I appreciate you taking me in.
Well, if everything is settled, I will be quickly on my way. Do let me know if that changes and you do in fact need anything.
Of course.
And he will put his book back and shuffle out the door with a nod.
Layla will check in to see if anything else was left for her.
Nothing else seems to have been left for now.
She will pick up probably one of the books she has been reading and make her way down over into her haven and spend the rest of the time reading until the day sleep takes her.
And last but not least, Ted.
Does Ted still have time to feed?
It'd be pushing it. You might be able to, but it'd be cutting it really close depending on whether or not you catch them waking up.
That'll be tomorrow's problem.
So you're heading back to your haven?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else you want to do before the day sleep?
Just do his usual stuff to prepare.
Okay. So, after a mildly productive evening, but probably not quite as productive as some parties would have liked, you all settle in for the day's sleep. And you manage to get through another day unaccosted until you wake up the next evening. Go ahead and roll me those hunger checks.
We're going to 3.
I am good to go.
All right, so let's see. Layla and Ted are both now at 3, and Chance is at 1. Oh, no, Layla's at 2?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's
Layla
right.
had fed the night before, and she's going to feed again.
Okay. Easily done. Similar as before, you pull one of the night helpers into your office and do the usual thing. They're used to the routine by now. And Ted. Mr. 3 Hunger, what would you like to do with that? Would you like to let it ride, or would you like to handle it?
Let's try to handle it.
Okay. How would you like to handle it?
Take a look around, see if there's any places with the apartment lights off that people might be going to bed in.
Okay. Go ahead and give me wits and streetwise.
Sure.
2. Okay. So again, it does take you a little bit of time. You walk a good handful of blocks out from where you're currently staying, and you do end up finding it's not quite an apartment. It's one of those older houses that has been like sectioned off into 3 different housing areas. You can see like you got the front door, the side door, and then there's some stairs up to a door on the second floor. And the lights are off downstairs, but upstairs you can see some lights peeking through some cracked blinds.
Check out the one with the lights off.
Okay. Go ahead and give me what's in awareness.
One.
1. Okay. So it's kind of hard to see. They have those like plastic horizontal blinds that are kind of hard to see through unless you get it like just the right angle, and then you only get like a sliver of the room inside. And it's dark in there, so you can only kind of see like the couple feet in front of the window there, and you see a small tattered couch, maybe some sort of stand next to it. You're not entirely sure.
Figure out what's going on. Let's take a look inside.
I'm sorry, you're gonna do what?
Going in.
Going in? Okay. Go ahead and give me dexterity and larceny.
5.
5. Okay. And so again, you get through the lock pretty easily. Are you going in through the window or are you trying to go in through the door?
Door.
Okay. So yeah, the lock goes pretty easy and you slip in. Are you trying to go quietly or are you not trying to hide your presence? How are you approaching this?
Put on shadow cloak and go in quiet.
Okay. Go ahead and give me that roll.
5.
Okay. So you managed to stay pretty quiet. It helps that as you pass the living room, someone is snoring like a chainsaw. And that kind of helps you time your footsteps so that it masks whatever slight creaks the old house might give way to.
Look at him and take a point of hunger off.
Okay. You are silent as the grave. Snoring helps. He is out like a light. How much are you taking off?
Just 1.
Just one? Okay. Easy enough to do.
Once he's done, lick the wound.
All right.
Then make his way out and lock the door on his way.
All right. Go ahead. Just give me a straight larceny roll.
1.
You get it locked back. There's some signs that it's been tampered with a little bit. It's a little bit looser than before, a couple odd scratches, but you get it back into place. All right. Now, Layla, how would you like to begin your evening?
Well, she would have called the person in to feed and probably actually had like conversation with them. So it would have taken a little bit there. But probably within an hour or two, she would get ready to head over to the Sword and Scepter.
And while you are making our way there, let's swing in with Chance. How would Chance like to begin his evening?
Much like the previous evening. Shaves even though it doesn't need to. Unlike previous evening, he will put on athletic clothing. He will take the dogs for a run around the block. Come back and get changed into proper business wear. A dark navy suit, black shirt, silver tie. And will make his appearance at both sides of his establishment as they open up. The sword is the more dancey style. Dancey, like typical club scene. And the Scepter Lounge is exactly that. More laid back, more mellow. More what Chance himself likes. Does have
Sorry.
does have live entertainment most nights.
You are greeted by your workers as usual. They're happy to report no issues during the day. They've went ahead and installed motion detectors out in like the yardage surrounding the back of the building specifically.
Good. Make sure it gets hooked into the doors for the dogs at some point, please.
Will do.
Hopefully, the next couple nights they'll stop trying.
Anything else you wish to take care of before your coworkers arrive?
Just make sure nothing else has been delivered. Make sure everything's in order, both downstairs and upstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that any computer work that needs to be done is done before anybody gets there as well.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty quiet tonight. There was a delivery. A couple of the amps that got damaged in the move have been replaced, and those replacements have arrived tonight. So your tech team is busy running around getting those squared away, signed for, and hooked up properly.
Good. We'll leave them to it.
And soon enough, is there anything Layla would like to take care of before she arrives?
No, she would just be dressed in like probably dark gray slacks with a blazer to match and then just like a dark shirt. Before she heads into the the scepter?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sure Ted would eventually make his way over as well.
Yep.
Soon enough, everyone is gathered. Still got a couple hours till Azzy is supposed to show up.
The offer to enjoy downstairs isn't necessarily just for social gatherings. If you need to grab a bite to eat as well, by all means, go ahead and take care of that. I can give you a private room to handle that as well.
Took care of that before I came in. So thank you.
As the offer is appreciated, though.
I assume at some point y'all gonna have to use it, so I know I have, as most Ventru do, very specific tastes. If any of you do, I can get my team to seek that out as well. They're very good at it.
You need to know now in case of an emergency?
No, just get with Martin.
Okay.
I just hope yours isn't ultra exclusive. Like redheads born on a Saturday in March or something.
It is not Ventru level exclusive, although it may be difficult for them to find.
Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Hopefully we'll never have to find out.
Agreed. I have a herd of my own, though.
Good, good. And Ted, same goes for you. If you need to, it's available.
Thank you. I don't really have any preferable tastes, though.
So yours should be easier to take care of.
Yeah.
So, Ted, we were going to take this evening to bring you up to speed on the Camarilla.
Ready to learn what I need to.
What do you know, first off?
You know about you guys have like princes and stuff?
So
Prince
we're
shared.
working with baseline knowledge, so no knowledge, basically.
So you guys have like towers and stuff?
You say you. Are you not part of it?
Like I said, wasn't really given much direction. I didn't even get a name for my sorry, to be honest.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is you're completely a blank slate, and since you're working with us, you are now affiliated. So, not necessarily saying this in a mean or disrespectful way, but get used to the idea of being Camarilla. It
Okay.
is certainly not going away anytime soon, especially if you're going to be in Indianapolis for any extended period of time.
I said the guy I'd spoken to said that Camarilla states are usually better.
Who recommended you to the prince?
Wasn't necessarily the prince, it was just this was the closest cam state I could find.
Oh, I meant for our task.
No idea.
Interesting. So you do not know the traditions?
No.
Well, the first one is, thou shalt not reveal thy true nature to those not of the blood.
It's a masquerade thing, right?
Yes.
Like a better term, don't do anything stupid to let people know exactly what you are. Don't think I didn't notice that you were trying to skirt around the mirror yesterday, and I do appreciate that, and Layla appreciate the assist on that as well.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
definitely one of the first things I noticed about myself.
I would imagine picking up a cell phone would have been the first one.
Yeah, that too.
Any questions on that one?
That's pretty obvious.
And the second is, thy domain is thine own concern.
I need to elaborate on that one.
You owe respect to whose land you are living in.
Basically, the prince calls you, make sure you're on time.
Okay.
If you are entering someone's domain that has been gifted to them by said prince or a primogen or something of that nature, letting them know would be preferential. If you know who they are and where everything is, sometimes you don't know.
Would we know? Because he gave an address. Because Ed gave an address. Would we know whose area that is?
Go ahead and give me either intelligence and etiquette or intelligence and politics.
Etiquette for me.
I got 5 on a
3.
messy. I got 5 on a messy crit.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be laughing. That's mean.
No, you should absolutely laugh.
Okay, so both of you would know that as of right now, that is currently unclaimed territory. The 5 would know that the person that used to be there was the the old Keeper of Elysium. However, they have not been seen in about a week.
Well, now that I think of it, you're kind of lucky that you live where you do. However, prior to a week ago, you probably should have sought that person out. They're a little bit more than a big deal. Where you live. But again, you probably didn't know, so it's. I'd be inclined to at least let you have a small pass, but not everyone will. Just keep that in mind, please.
Okay.
You currently live, from what I remember, where the Keeper of Elysium controls.
So, like the second in command, or
We will get to Elysium after the traditions, I think.
Yes. But now just sit and be quiet and absorb as much as you can. Okay?
thumbs up.
The third is, thou shalt only sire another with the permission of thine elder. Meaning, the prince must give you permission to embrace anyone.
Or a proxy of the prince.
By the prince's mouth,
Yes.
if not directly.
Yes. Typically, again, somebody in a position of high power would be a good person to ask. And if you don't, they will find you and they will kill you and your child.
Not.
Any questions on that one?
Sounds pretty obvious too.
Next one is, those thou create are thine children. It falls along with the previous one of the ones you embrace are your responsibility.
That one.
Or better or
self-explanatory.
worse.
Yes. Some people just have problematic children. Some don't. Just hope any that you eventually do, because I assume that you probably will at some point. Might be 30, 40, 50 years down the line, but at some point you probably will be, just hope they are good children and follow your instructions.
Because if they do not, it will fall back on you.
Okay.
Next is, honor one another's domain. We are in Chance's domain currently, so we abide by his rules. If you're in mine, you abide by my rules. We abide by the prince's rules as we are in Indianapolis.
That makes sense.
And the last one is, thou art forbidden to destroy another of thy kind.
Does that require any further explanation?
Assume that's killing our kind.
Yes, but
The right of destruction belong only to thine elder. Only the eldest among you shall call the blood hunt. The ability to kill some kindred. Only the prince may call that.
yes. And being so new, I assume you probably don't realize that we can eat each other. Don't do that under any circumstances. And if you do and I find out about it, it will not be a good day for you.
No, nor will it be from my end.
I also expect both of you to hold me to that same regard as long as there's no blood hunt on someone, and that is the final option that I have. Won't be a problem for me because I can't. Not with a lot of doing.
They have no intentions of eating any of us.
Again, falls back to you. If you do want to find out about it, I will make sure that is your last night.
Oh.
Whether it be by my hand or someone else's, it doesn't matter.
If it is found out, the whole city will descend upon you.
So let's play nice with each other. Keep our hands to ourselves. And if there's a disagreement, make sure nobody dies. You know, it's the whole thing that you were taught when you were 3 years old. At least I was taught when I was 3 years old. Don't hit each other. Don't hurt each other.
Words before weapons.
Got it.
So now Elysium is a place, the hotel actually, that you will not use your powers. You will not cause a scene. You will not start a fight. Or you will be killed.
Okay.
Technically, it's only if you get caught using your powers, but there are much older and much more powerful kindred there, so it is just a better idea to not do it at all.
Yes. Maybe one day you will be one of those old and powerful kindred. You might be able to get away with it, but now is not that time, so again, please do not be stupid.
I feel like most of my powers are really obvious anyway, so I can't really use them.
We'll figure exactly which ones are and aren't at some point, but for now, I'll take your word for it.
Do you have any questions?
I pretty much understand everything.
Good, because as we are working with you, any mistakes on your end will also fall down on us.
Seeing as
And vice versa, of course.
seeing as it seems like you don't have any ties to anyone, I assume, Layla, you do. Again, because of the whole somebody must really like you. And I'm curious as to exactly who, but I'm not going to prod too much. Obviously,
I'm sure it will come out eventually.
sure, but it doesn't have to right now. And obviously, the prince knows me a little bit, not extensively, but I would like to stay on their good side. I assume that neither you were intentionally ever going to do anything that would jeopardize my standing, and I will try to reciprocate in kind.
Well,
Yes, I would prefer not to be needing to flee the city for any reason. I happen to like where I live.
Any other further discussion?
So,
Well, with that, you guys will make idle chit chat for a little bit longer until a few more minutes goes by, and a few more, and eventually at 12 o'clock sharp, a young woman comes up to you guys. Chance would know this as one of your hostesses, and she informs you that a young man has arrived and is at the front asking for the proprietor of the establishment.
I would assume they gave the name Ozzy
Yes.
or Azzy.
Yes.
Please send up the snack tray as well. And above table, that's like an actual legitimate, like, people food snack tray. Just
Right away,
in
sir.
case.
Of course. And she trots off to do your bidding.
Are we going to meet him or is he going to be sent up?
Be up shortly. And if you're curious, it's celery and assorted vegetables with some dip.
I assume we would see it when it came.
Just so we're fully clear.
Right. I will make sure not to confuse celery with blood.
Just to make sure that you didn't think I was sending up.
And true to word, the hostess in question comes back carrying a tray with assorted vegetables and dips. There looks like a spinach dip, maybe some hummus and some pita triangles, a little bit of everything. And she sets it down, and as she's turning to walk away, a gentleman comes in behind her. He is very young and dressed like he walked out of a club scene, with wild red hair and a shit-eating grin on his face. And that is where we're going to leave it for tonight.
Okay.
We shall have that conversation next week.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, let's see, with that, I guess it's on to our announcements.
Yes. You got it this time? Or you want me to take care of it?
I got it. I got it all. I got it all written down and everything. And everything. And everything.
You have it written down, but you don't know where it's written down at.
I am going through 4 notebooks right now. I am sorry. Okay, so, all right.
4 too many.
That's just how I am. So thank you everyone for joining us for our first episode of Midnight on the Circle. Again, I am your storyteller, Buttons. Thank you for joining us. Please check out our socials. You can find us under Total Party Crit or Total Party Crit Games. We've got Insta. We have used to be Twitter. I think it's called X now. We don't really get on there anymore because no. We're on. You can find us on TikTok, Twitch, and our YouTube channel. Come check us out. Like, comment, subscribe.
We
have
might
a
be
link
making
tree.
a blue sky.
We might be making a blue sky. Yes, that is something that is in the works. You can find our link tree on just about any of our socials. That'll take you where you need to go. We do also have a Discord server. Please come join us, chat with us, give us constructive criticism, feedback, tell us what you like, tell us what you didn't, ask questions, all that good stuff. Please do join us. And we also have a Patreon. If you are of the persuasion to donate through such means, please do. We're looking at reworking the tiers, I believe.
I think so. But for right now, what we have is your normal run-of-the-mill stuff. We are looking at figuring out how to make them a little bit more enticing. But yeah.
And speaking of enticing things, on our Linktree, we should also have our Dice Legion affiliation. A wonderful little company with dice and dice accoutrements. Please check them out. Order through our affiliation link code. We will get a little bit of that back, and we will also be able to support a wonderful small business. I think most of us have ordered from them at some point, and we are all very pleased with the products and the customer service. So yeah, check them out. And last but not least, we are just wanted to go over our schedule one more time. We are switching to a bi-weekly mode. We will be alternating weeks. Our Life and Blood Atlanta will switch off with Midnight on the Circle on Sunday nights. And we have Blood and Hope Detroit switching off with Nicole's Cryptid Catchers on Tuesdays, and then Thursday is going to be sort of a flex night.
Wildcard night.
Yep.
This last one, it was the second part of our Halloween special for our Hunter game.
Mm-hmm. And
but it's not always going to be that.
Yes. We recently used one of our nights to run a special game for some very special people, because we are going to be having new faces joining us, one in the Life and Blood Atlanta game and one in the Blood and Hope Detroit game. So stick around, welcome our new players when they make their appearance, and it'll be a great time.
I believe both are set to make their appearance this coming week. So
I think so. Still need to figure some things out, but I think so.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Hope for the best.
well, you get like 2 days. It's fine.
I'm off work tomorrow, so it's fine. I'll figure it out tomorrow. It's tomorrow me's problem.
Yeah. As Nen said earlier.
Spoilers ahead.
Spoilers ahead.
3, 2, 1. Bam.
Yay!
Yay!
We made it to post-game stocks.
Yeah. So, if you don't want things spoiled, now's your time to leave. As per the norm.
Okay.
So thanks for sticking with us, if you're still here.
Yes. So,
I low-key regret that Layla is like, doesn't give a shit about saying she's a Bruja, because it would have been quite funny to keep Chance in the dark on that.
no, it's fine.
Especially with the connections with the Venture Primogen.
Yeah, once he figures that out, he's probably going to be like, yo. Need to introduce me to that person.
Fun fact, I actually purchased him as Malwa.
Good.
But we'll probably be seeing him fairly regularly.
Good. How did you like Chance's plethora of animals?
His small menagerie was quite funny and true to life.
Yeah, I figured. So obviously, Hairless Cat was there for a reason. Because typically I have one show up at some point, but he has decided to take a nap on the couch.
He's decided to embrace the inner Nosferatu.
Yeah. For once.
Mm-hmm. The one time we need him here.
I know. I was trying to actually get him to come over here so I could like hold on to him while I was playing with him in game. But the dogs I had asked about way at the start of all this. Because I was like, it kind of fits, and I found that one thing, and I was like, yeah, we're just gonna do with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, literally, they're just like chase off kids that are trying to like mess with this business. Apparently, only reason why they're there.
Sure, the only reason.
No, he has a cleanup crew for the rest of it. They're not Tories, dogs. Jeez.
Are we, quick question for you, Buttons. Are we sticking with the one experience like we do with the other games?
I'll go. Let's see. Things went pretty well tonight. Actually, they went a little bit faster than I thought they would. Go ahead and take 2 tonight.
Okay. Because I actually forgot to spend all of my initial experience, so I have all of that still too.
Yeah. You guys were very efficient, and I applaud it.
Yeah, get used to that.
Yeah, I know at least one of us is attempting to do that.
Oh no, I just meant as a whole. Things will always go faster than you expect and plan for.
Yep.
Until you actually plan like a lot, and then it'll be a 4 sessions long plan.
Yes. Like, oh, they'll run through this in a night. It drags on.
Yeah, 4 games later, you're like, oh shit.
Because they spend 2.5 hours talking to one NPC, and you're like, stop talking to them. I promise you, it happens.
Yes, it does.
And it especially happens to new game masters, storytellers, and dungeon masters. So
Don't worry, we'll find an NPC at some point.
Oh yes. If Eddie wasn't sick, I probably would have sat there and talked to him a lot longer, but he was sick.
It's almost like I knew that might happen.
We're gonna get blacked off by the ST at every turn, Dengle. We'll have to create some situations.
I want to go talk to one of my patrons.
Okay.
They're drunk. They will talk forever.
Ooh, let's go talk to my police contact.
Yeah.
Get lots of interesting information if you roll the right dice.
Good.
Yeah. A couple other people to talk to that would be fun too. Like, yeah, ideas for when we can't talk to anybody else. Because everyone turns out to be sick with COVID.
Imogen, Sheriff, I'm sure would probably sit there and talk to us. Martin. 3 hours of, hey Martin, tell us your story.
Right. Martin, tell us every detail about your entire backstory. Who made you who you are? What made you who you are?
Except for that one little detail that we already discussed that you don't tell anybody. What?
Forget.
I don't have that one. I have Compel.
I think I took that one. Scene Queen gets you a dominate power.
Yeah, so too.
I don't need it because they'll kill you if you don't if you say anything, and we know where you live.
Yeah, I took that one to enable the feeding that I have. I have 2 powers that just pretty much lets me auto feed.
We figured out exactly which one both of yours is. And anybody have a guess as to what mine is?
Something dealing with those animals.
No.
No?
No.
Well, not a farmer. You can't be a farmer.
No. Yeah.
What's the other one? I don't remember. I thought there was one more.
The Montero. Where
Yeah.
you get your people to hunt for you. AKA, I need you to go grab a couple people that I like and make sure they stay here. And we will release them as needed. Make
Oh,
sure
so
they are.
You just kidnap people? You have them living in your place?
No.
Mm.
Kidnap. Bring to private quarters under the guise of not the right thing.
Sure. Definitely not kidnapping.
No. Not by chances. Kidnapping would assume that you held them forever. Temporarily detaining, I believe, is what police say.
Sure. Sure. So I liked Chance and I liked Ted. I was a little surprised that you picked another newbie to the Camarilla, Nan. Or another newbie to the sect.
So to have fun.
It fits Nen, though.
Does
Like,
it?
Nen as a person, it fits Nen, though. Of just go over the shit with me one more time just to make sure I got it. And I like how we're all under like 15 years old.
Yeah.
Nerd-wise.
Makes us all fledglings, right?
Technically, I think Layla's a neonate.
Yeah.
Or not.
And
Yeah. Yeah, neonate.
and Chance barely falls under that as well. It's anything over 5 years.
Yeah, it can go between 5 and 10, but it's also kind of when your reciter releases you as well.
Yeah. So it's fun.
Yeah. I'm
Also-
definitely curious to see what some stuff is happening. What were you going to say?
Also, yes, I knew that the very short turnaround for Ghouling, but I have it actually written in like he took care of shit way before it actually was even asked of him.
Yeah. It's
So-
an interesting playoff of the typical venture thing because usually they'll keep ghouls for like 50 plus years
Yes.
before an embrace.
Yes.
At least in the Camarilla.
And Chance being ghouled and then embraced so quickly, it's might be a personality thing. Who knows?
Who knows? Who knows indeed.
But
Who
yes,
knows?
it's written in the backstory. So
Yes, can confirm.
Ted isn't embraced by like a wayward child of Small or something, is he?
I don't know, Storyteller.
Which one?
there would be 3 to choose from.
Well, I have nothing to do with Small.
The
I know.
only detail I've written about the Ted Sire is that they are a what was it called? Whichever feeding type that they use people to lead you into their trap.
Montero.
Yep,
Yeah.
that would be a Montero.
Also, he might have some issues with Chance once he learns that.
It's fine.
Absolutely no code retentions whatsoever. Oh, speaking of, we're gonna have to come up with a name. Camarilla coteries get names.
Yes, they do. Don't let Chance come up with it.
No, it'll be the fucking Sword and Scepter gang.
No, it's not going to be quite as overt as that. But yes, no, it's technically two separate businesses under the same umbrella in the same building with a.
That's
wall down
actually
the side.
really fucking cool.
And I picture like on the front of it, it's like one person, like half of it's red and half it's like blue, and one's holding a sword and one's holding just a scepter.
That's really cool. I'll get with you on this later.
Okay.
Yeah, Layla's is just a library, so nothing crazy there.
Not at all.
Yeah, no, definitely not. At least it's not the DIA. What?
Fun fact, her haven is actually like in the basement of it, though.
Oh, I know.
Or attic, I don't remember what we had stated. I think basement fits better, though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Also, if you guys stick around long enough, a certain person is still there. They do entertainment on the one side
Oh, Anna?
still. Yes.
Yes, because there will be a few times where Layla does go away, and I will probably be playing Anna.
Yep. We've got to figure out exactly what, yeah, we've got to figure out exactly what that entertainment entails. Like a lounge setting, because I don't think you have any singing or anything like that, but other things.
No, there's the that rope where I forget what it's called.
The aerial
Yeah.
silks.
That's what I kind of figured,
Yeah, it'd be something like that.
and it would be fitting.
Mm-hmm.
Still wanted to have that be a viable option.
If it's something else, I can change it. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, technically, the True Bruja meet up bi-yearly, and so there's twice a year where Layla will be away for a bit.
Yeah, no, the silk aerials are perfectly fine by me as long as it's okay with buttons.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Can't wait for all of you to meet her.
Oh yeah, she's a fun one.
That's gonna be so much fun.
It'll be real fun when it's like, yeah, don't just stay with her. Why? Just trust me. She's protected.
And also Kindred, don't eat from her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She will gut you like a fish.
Yeah, she would. Oh man. Oh man, would she ever. The only reason I'm not playing her is because it's too close to the next character concept I came up with.
It's fine.
And I didn't want to not do that. I don't like doing the similar ones next to each other.
It's fine. Hopefully Chance isn't anything remotely similar to Rufus.
I I feel like Layla's pushing a little bit close to Tori, but it's also very different concepts.
Yes. And
D-
Ted's not.
Oh god, no, he's so unlike your others.
So if you're concerned about that, you're good. I do, however, like Ted for what we've seen of him so far. So
Yes.
I'm very excited to see what this group gets into.
So much shit. So much shit. Hopefully I pulled off the fairly emotionless. Well, but just straight apathy.
yes, for the most part, yeah.
Look, I have to get some jokes in somewhere, okay?
I know.
It's already almost 1 o'clock. Shoot.
Yep.
Yep.
There's a bunch of things I'm curious about with the game, but obviously only first one. So we'll see moving forward. I'll get with you on what I'm spending my experience on after I figure out stuff for Tuesday.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I didn't realize I still had 7 experience to spend as well. So I'll probably bank mine a little bit.
Sounds like a plan. Let me know.
Yep.
Yeah. Will do.
Anything we need to worry about for the next game? Buttons?
Not that I'm aware of right now. If that changes, I will let y'all know over the course of the next 2 weeks.
Okay. For Tuesday, just figure out what you're going to do about the cult.
Bring the bigger one.
You can, Mr. Banu Hakim.
No, he had the small one with him last time. Next time, he'll just bring the bigger one that he has stashed under his bed.
Oh, the gun.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Indeed we shall.
Okay, thanks for sticking around, everybody, and keep in mind we play again on Tuesday with Detroit. Farewell.